right. All right, welcome back. Iron Sworn, Starforged, Vaults of Vaarn. We are catching up with Ardel, who is currently finding a safe space right after he had to quickly maneuver and dodge a catastrophic explosion upon the engineering center that had the computer core. And a shadowy figure kind of came out of nowhere and sent chills up his spine. So we're continuing his story and his current vow to eradicate and deal with the bot infestation on the crashed ancient warship, the Dreadnought Royal Signet, currently inhabited by humans, led by the navigator Creed Murad, and that's where we left off. So let us continue, shall we? So we have a moment in terms of the story. There's a short breather after Ardel takes a moment to calm himself and to steel his resolve, as he kind of navigates the emotional weight behind what he's doing. He's not just doing this to, learn more about these people. He's actually putting himself into a lot of actual danger, and has realized that he is, while self-preserving, he has some sort of care about these people. And where that comes from, he can't quite put his finger on it. But as he stands on and takes a moment to realize where he is, we need to roll on what he needs to do, or where he is. But what I do want to do first, because I keep forgetting, is I have a discovery track right here, or the Discovery's legacy track. That's a hard word for me to say, is legacy. I have one box that's filled in, and I need to re-familiarize myself with how these work, and giving XP. So far, I have not awarded my character any XP whatsoever, or experience points and all that. So I don't remember how all that works. So I'm going to go to the moves here, the legacy moves. When you fill a box, 4 ticks on any legacy track, take 2 experience. This experience may be spent when you advance. Once you completely fill the 10th box on any legacy track, clear that track, and you may start again marking progress on the cleared track, but earn experience at a reduced rate. Okay. When you develop your abilities, improve your resources, gain a reward, or boost your influence, you may spend 3 experience to add a new asset, or 2 experience to upgrade an asset. Choose from the following categories as appropriate to your focus and opportunities. Module, upgrade your command vehicle. Support vehicle, acquire or improve a secondary vehicle. Okay. Our command vehicle right now is just this hover bike, because as per the Vaults of Vaarn, there are no spaceships or anything like that in this game. And that's how we started. If you remember, we're playing Starforged, but we're playing as a native of this planet. And his background vow is to, let me just read it because I like reading it, is to, something is out there, got to find a way off this rock to the stars. So that's his drive, his background vow. And he's already had 2 marks on this. 40 successes, or 40 progress is what is needed to fill out this. So his main vehicle is his hover bike, but his hover bike is fully upgraded, so we don't need to worry about that. I do have an idea of upgrading the protocol bot or the firebrand. Have not utilized at all this entire campaign so far the lore hunter ability. I thought this would be cool, but it requires ooh, when you make a move to conduct extended research or study, re-roll any challenge dice. On a match, you piece together an extraordinary or harrowing new theory, envision the nature of this revelation, and mark 1 tick on your discovery's legacy track. Ooh. Okay. Firebrand. When you endure harm and score a strong hit with a match, you may instead ignore the harm and take plus fire equal to the amount of harm faced. Oh, I kind of like this. It redirects the harm into making fire. Or when you have at least 3 fire, you may gain ground or strike by unleashing hell. If you do, take an automatic strong hit and mark progress, then set your fire to 0. Ah, I see. So this is kind of like making a strong hit when you first enter combat by basically casting Fireball. And then upgraded Protocol Bot. When you first visit or interact with a new community or culture, you may ask for the bot's insight. If you do, envision what you learn and take +1 momentum. Or if you make a move in a charged interaction and the value of your action die is less than the bot's health, you may re-roll it. Ooh. So max health is 3, so if the action die is 3 or less. Ooh. That's really cool. You may re-roll it as the bot interjects with their commentary or advice. I see. So this is you doing something. Let's just roll. Really? 3. So if it's less than, so it would have to be a 2 or 1, basically. If it's a 2 or 1, so it's a 33% chance that the bot will chime in with, maybe this is a better way of doing things. Oh, interesting. But I kind of like building upon the Firebrand ability. When you endure harm and score a strong hit with a match, you may instead ignore the harm. So those are options. Learn from your experiences or build a legacy. So, or 2 experiences to upgrade an asset. Okay, so I have not really looked through these, but I know to acquire a new thing, it is 3 XP, and I only have 2. But one thing I do want to see is what these deeds do. Once you fill 6 boxes, once you mark traumatized, once you face death, forsake a vow, marked, and homesteader. Once you 5 boxes on your quest legacy tracks. I see. So these are all sort of like game milestones that once your character does, you can just acquire these. Cool. But I can't acquire these. And I'm not going to utilize acquiring a new asset right now because I don't have the required thing. So I think I'm actually the nature of the narrative, if you will. I think Ardel is going to take this moment of being slightly, he was disheartened a little bit and his spirit was shaken a little bit, but not fully. And so he is going to, in this moment, he's going to sort of focus on his ability. And he's going to sort of take a personal vow, not an iron vow, but a personal vow to utilize his internal, strength of this firebrand. That the nanobots also give him the protocol bot type of stuff. He's going to use this, and I'm going to upgrade him so he's going to have, where is, oh, well, great. I don't have my pen with me, but I will mark, wow, I really thought I had my pen with me, but I don't. So I'm going to do the thing that I can do is I'm going to mark this lightly with a pencil. This can erase, and that's fine. So now I have, when you endure harm and score a strong hit with a match, you may instead ignore the harm and take plus fire equal to the amount of harm faced. 1, 2, or 3. Okay, that's cool. So that is actually something that is something of note that might come into play at some point. So that's cool. All right. And then I spend 2 XP. So I spent 2 XP to do that. Nice. Check. Okay. And so I will mark that I've used it by Xing it out. That's what I'll do. Okay. All right. Now, let us roll to see where Ardel has found himself within the engineering area. Well, that's where we last were. So let's roll to see where he ran to, right? So let's go to the derelict zones here, and let's roll our D100. And he runs into an area that is 58 on a starship. Another medical area. Okay, so makes sort of sense. Medical. And is page 88. Area, oh, 88. Interesting. 88. A new zone. Again, okay. Medical. So this is empty, right? And it's going to give me a new zone. So we're going to roll this again. And this is going to have a twist. Or there's a twist to this area. Actually, there's a twist as he enters into... Okay, so I'm going to say that there is it a complication or a clue? I'm going to get 50-50. It's like, so I'm going to say it's 50-50, it's a complication, and if it's 51 or more, it's going to be a story clue. We got a 17, so it's a complication. So, complication. Okay, complication of what? Let's roll. Oops, 60, that was a 6. 64. 64 complication. Trap is sprung. Ooh. Trap. Okay, so as he's going through this medical area, but we need to roll a new area first. Let's see where he's going, leaving the medical area. We got 16. And more engineering, wow. Engineering. Let's roll on engineering. Page 86. Page 86, engineering. 8. A control room. Okay, so a control room. Control room. Okay. And what is in this control room? And this is going to help me kind of narrate the thing that is a trap. 93. 93 control room. Oh, descriptor and focus. Okay. We need to go 30. Descriptor of 30 and 31. Okay. 14. Broken. A broken what? Makes sense. Broken 46. Broken 46. Intelligence. Broken intelligence. Control room. Broken intelligence. Oh. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so this is how I read this. And it's a trap. or there's a trap here. Okay. A lot of ideas are springing forward in my brain right now. And bear with me while I spiral. Okay. So we have Ardel basically going through this like medical facility area, not really finding anything. And for some reason, there's just nothing there to grab his attention. And he keeps moving along. And he steps on something. He doesn't know that he steps on something. It is some sort of alarm system. It is some sort of trigger. But as he's moving along, he enters into this engineering area that is a control room. So think kind of like the computer core, but not as focused. So there are multiple stations of computers with screens and dusty keyboards and things like that because it hasn't been used in a long time. But there are some blinking areas. And so he walks toward that space. Then he sees right next to a working station a hunched over utility bot that is humanoid in shape, but definitely made out of parts that were a utility bot. And it looks busted, it looks broken. And so Ardel is going to reach for it. And then it snaps up and lunges. So that's the trap. That's the trap. So this bot looked like it was broken, but definitely has some sort of intelligence to it. So we're going to have to face danger here. And we're going to face danger. So he was going to reach for it, right? He was going to face danger. He's going to face danger because it's lunging at him. You could say that we could have expertise and observation be used, like wits. But I'm going to say this is a reaction as something is jumping at him. And that is a little jarring, right? So he's probably going to roll edge here and try to dodge out of the way and then see what he can do here. If he succeeds, that might be great. I'm actually going to utilize his firebrand ability, and his current fire is 5. So you wield fiery energy, and so you take it +2. Your max fires when you make a move aided by this. Add +2. So he's going to use his firebrand ability, kind of like what he did on his first encounter with these bots or with these constructs. I'm going to call this one a utility construct because it looks more humanoid than like a bot type of thing. He's going to kind of dodge out of the way, but kind of duck and then force a fireball out and sort of cover, hopefully, the abdomen space or the body of this thing so he has time to move out of the way. So he's going to use his mobility and agility to get out of the way. Roll edge. Oops, gotta use the d6. 6 plus 2 plus 2 is 4, so 10. And that is a strong hit. So, that's a strong hit with face danger. You are successful, take +1 momentum. Now, that does not mean that we're out of... We could, in theory, say that we've missed the danger, but the enemy's still here. So I'm going to say that we're going to have to enter into some combat here. Face danger. A utility bot construct lunges at Ardel. All right, so we succeeded, And I think we're gonna go into combat here. So let's go into the combat moves, which I have not used yet. I don't think so. Anyway, we are going to. We are in a control. If you're in control, you can make proactive moves such as gain ground and strike. When in a bad spot, you must make reactive moves such as react under fire and clash. The outcome of a combat will decide your current position. When you make a move that doesn't define your position, such as a suffer move, follow these guidelines. Strong hit, you're in control. Weak hit or miss, you're in a bad spot. I love this reference guide. It is so helpful. I am very much looking forward to the Sundered Isles double book. The Kickstarter, Sean Tompkin updated and said that he decided to split the book into two, so they were more akin to the size of the original reference guide. And I personally wasn't even thinking about it, but then I realized a 200 and something page book is much bigger than this. Is 128 pages. So that split is going to be much more manageable. So we split the Sundered Isles into the oracles and then the rules. So which is great, because once you know the rules, very much like the core rule book for Starforged, once you read it, you don't really need to reference this all that much. You just need the reference book itself. And so that's really cool. So we'll have this book plus another one like this with Sundered Isles. So we don't need a big, massive book on the table as well. That's going to be really cool. Anyway, I digress, right? Okay, so we face danger, and what we're going to do is we're going... What am I doing here? Oh, right, combat stuff. I lost my place. There we go. So, I'm going to envision when you initiate combat or are forced into a fight, and that's effectively what happened here, is that this intelligence probably not even set a trap, but was alerted when Ardel unintentionally stepped on something that alerted the construct to his presence. Oh, sorry. I had to make sure that I was recording. All right. So here we go. We're going to set a new. We are going to lose one fire because we have to. We're at 4 now. I think we're going to set this particular, what do you call, this utility, not utility, utility. You know, whenever you write things and you just doesn't look right and you just kind of keep moving on. That's what I do sometimes, but utility. You won't ever get it in your head to do it the correct way if you just stop yourself, rewind, and then do it again. Utility construct. Okay? So, what difficulty should this be? Now, this is definitely something different. This is like, it feels like it's upgraded. I feel like this might be dangerous. So, as a reminder, dangerous, I think it's in the back of the book. Yeah, dangerous is 2 boxes. So we're going to fight so I'm going to say dangerous. Dangerous. And so that is going to be 2 full boxes per progress, right? Dangerous. And so let us fill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm gonna go through now. This is a moment where I do want to check this to see if there's any monster type of things that I can create, right? So I do, oops, moves. I know I have it here somewhere. Forge. I'm just going to look at the, oh man. Oh, that art on this is just gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Okay. Such a lovely book. Okay. Progress tracks. Conditions, impacts, assets, oracles, equipments, vehicles. Choosing your truths, yada, yada, yada. Creating a character. Exploring the depths, pillars, session, adventures, quest, moves, yep. Combat. I'm gonna go to 182 real quick. Foes and encounters, 250. There we go, 250. I am gonna go to 182, but then 250, 182. So, as a reminder, of course, you know, when you do stuff like this and you need to pause the game, you know, as a polite reminder, this is part of the game. I am engaging myself into, you know, that whole process. I think a lot of us, myself included, and this is, I'm only speaking from my personal experience. When I shifted from playing my card games and board games with my family and friends to, say, video games when I got older, I didn't play video games all that much until I was older and had my own computer. The occasional Nintendo game at a friend's house, that kind of thing, was different. That's like playing with people. But when you play yourself at a computer, it's very different. And then when you stop playing the game because you have to go online or you have to read a book, it's not playing the game. And so you have this idea that if you're not playing the video game itself, then you're not playing the game. You're not enjoying the hobby of playing that video game. Tabletop role-playing games and solo tabletop games are a completely different beast. And so I've had to reframe my brain to get away from that thinking. And so doing this, while I know may not be the most, you know, riveting to listen to or to watch, that's not the point for my digression here. My main goal here is to refamiliarize myself with something that I don't remember too much of. But it's part of the game. It is part of the experience of playing this game. Also, I get to, like, this is a cool image. I don't think I've seen this image before, or rather, I don't remember it. I read this cover to cover a couple of times when I first got it, but once I knew the rules and knew how to play, I did not look back, and I looked at the reference guide mostly. So I'm going to look at all these positions, combat range. So there's a lot of cool information here. But to create a more exciting and the combat moves can depict any scale of action-oriented conflict, even the clash of mighty starships. Oh, that's cool. That is very, very cool. All right, we are entering the fray. Yep. All right, define objectives, 183. So 183, what is our objective, right? Of escape the swarm, upload, repel, cover, shut down the main reactor. Okay, so let's pick an objective. So it could be as simple as defeat the enemy, which I think in this particular situation, there's no other narrative thing telling me to do otherwise. So I'm going to write defeat the enemy as my objective. And then I need to go to 250 because I want to see if there are some enemies that I can maybe use as inspiration. Yep, foes and encounter. NPCs, NPC components. Something, challenge rank, yep. Yep. So their rank is, I see, troublesome, dangerous, formidable, extreme, and epic. Got it. Okay. So I really should be reading up on this and how to create different NPCs that do different things. Okay, sample NPCs. Got it. Okay, so Chitin, Colossus, Crystallid, Drift Pirate, Ember Wisp, Firestorm Trooper, Flarewing Shark, Ghost, Gnawling, Howlcat, ooh, interesting, Iron Auger, Puppet Vine, Risen, Pyralis, Scrap Bandit, Servitor, ooh, yeah, I like Servitor, Sicklehorn, Sky Roost, Roost Swarm, Technoplasm, ooh, Machines fused with biological corruption, ooh, interesting. I kind of like that. An infected bot. When bots fall prey to technoplasm outbreaks, they are transformed into horrific amalgams of machine and living proto-ooze. Once subsumed, they set out to serve the primitive impulses of the infection, defending effective sites and finding new machines to corrupt. Ooh, I kind of like the technoplasm. The Warden, Water Witcher, World Breaker. You know what? I kind of like the Servitor Enforcer bot, though most encounters are labored in services, and many servitors are displayed as brutes. Enforcers are often used by tyrannical factions to keep settlements passive and productive. Okay. Okay. I'm going to use the Servitor. I like this more as an idea. So it's a rank 2. And I'm just going to keep it off to the side here. As rank 2 is a... rank 2 is dangerous, which I think we marked this as dangerous. So utility construct is dangerous. So absorb damage with armor plating. So it has some sort of like armor plating thing. So knowing that we're going to go into combat with some sort of mechanical thing, Ardel takes out his spore thrower thing, right? He knows that has done well before. He also has his firebrand ability, which he also has used to get out of, well, that dodge thing. All right, so let us, when you are in control and take action in a fight to reinforce your position or move toward an objective, I think we're going to gain ground first. Envision your approach and roll. If you are in pursuit, fleeing, or maneuvering, roll edge, which is more likely the case because we just avoided being full-on attack. Charging boldly into action, we're not doing that. Gaining leverage with force, no. Hiding, preparing an ambush, definitely not. Coordinating plans, studying is no. So we're definitely in pursuit or fleeing. I think we're more maneuvering now that we've kind of dodged out of the way. Ardel is hopping over some desks that have some broken down computer stations and stuff, because we are in a where are we? We are in an engineering control room. So he's hopping around places and he's trying to get out of the way. So we're going to roll edge and see what happens. He could utilize the firebrand. Yes, he's going to burn another firebrand just to guarantee staying in his thing. So he's going to go down to 3, add +2 to this. 6, well, this definitely is a strong hit. So 6 plus his edge is 8, plus the 2 with the firebrand. He uses the firebrand more as a distraction to fire onto the ability of the thing. And so on a hit, you stay in control and mark progress and take +2 momentum. Oh, choose 1. Mark progress, take 2 momentum, or add 1 to your next move. So we choose 2 of these. So I think it makes sense. We're going to mark progress. because what's wild is that I think that the firebrand, the fireball out of his hand actually did some damage to this enemy, and so we're down to 3 fire. Down to 3 fire, right? And we're still in control. So if you're in control, you can make proactive moves such as gain ground and strike. So I think at this point, this construct, this utility construct, servitor type of bot, right, is trying to arm up and then reform its body into something a little more protective, seeing as we've been able to dodge it and also hurt it and move into a different position. I can add 1 to the next move or also take +2 momentum. I'm going to take the +2 momentum just because that makes the most sense for Ardel. It's going to go up to 5. So we're at 5 momentum. And now he's going to enter the fray when you initiate combat or are forced into a fight. Envision your... Oh, actually, we are already in. We did gain ground instead. Okay. We're going to strike. When you're in control and assault a foe at close quarters, when you attack at distance, roll edge. We're doing our at distance. We're trying to keep this bot and Ardel separated by these desks of computer controls. And so he's going to use his firebrand ability again. So he's going to add +2 to this. And we're going to roll edge at a distance. So +2 because of edge, +2, so 4. 4 + 4 is 8. Oh, that makes this a weak hit still. On a weak hit, mark progress twice, but you are exposing yourself to danger. You are in a bad spot. Mark progress twice? Sweet. All right, so we're going to mark progress twice, which is 2 per. So we just filled out 6 boxes already, which is awesome. But we are in a bad spot. So I envision that the utility bot, gets hit, but rolls into a different sort of wheel position and quickly moves around, so is in the same space as Ardel. And then in a bad spot, I think we need to react under fire. When you are in a bad spot and take action in a fight to avoid danger or overcome an obstacle. Let's see. Fleeing on a strong hit. So I have not utilized these particular moves all that much in my games. Mostly because I've been able to create situations where my characters don't go into full combat. Mostly, I think it's because I like to stay away from combat. Combat in a lot of games make things chunkier and bloated a little bit. And I'm also very, very bad at describing combat. So even when I was recording myself, I didn't really have a good sense of how it looked. I've watched action movies. I've seen that kind of stuff before, and how it's it looks cool, but describing those motions for me is beyond my capabilities and my skill purview. So, yeah, welcome to my headspace. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read through React Under Fire versus Clash, because those are the only things that we can do. So when you are in a bad spot and take action in a fight to avoid danger or overcome an obstacle, envision your approach and then roll. Clash is when you are in a bad spot and fight back against a foe at close quarters or exchange fire at a distance. I think the Clash is basically what I can do, right? And this is edge or iron all the time. This one allows you to use different things. I see. So Clash and Strike are basically just the combat situations, using iron and edge all the time. React Under Fire and Gain Ground allows you to use your other skills as the narrative allows. That's what that is. Okay, so let me read through the react under fire's options and see what this looks like. So we have the bot kind of about the console. I'm just going to use this this thing here as the console, and this was Ardel. He was shooting over the console, but the bot rolled into something, came around and faced him. So he is basically next to him now. So this would be forced into a melee situation. He knows he's not very good at that. So I think he's going to try to react under fire, and he's going to try to change the plans, finding a way out, or cleverly bypass an obstacle. So he's going to try to look at the situation and find a way out from being within melee distance. So he's going to roll wits and react under fire. That's what he's going to do. Okay. So react under fire is, oh, I do need to mark, yeah, his fire's down to 3. He's going to roll wits here. Now I don't think he's going to be able to use his firebrand ability per se here, so we're going to roll. Ooh, we got 5 plus wits is 8. Oh, plus 3 is 8. So that is a strong hit. Challenge dice is 2 and 7. So we got a strong hit. On a strong hit, you succeed and are in control. Take +1 momentum. So +1 momentum goes up to 6, and we are in control. And so we hop on top. Here, there we go. So we're able to hop on top of the computer area, and we realize that this bot can't jump. We see that it can roll around quickly and leap up and change into a humanoid shape and kind of grab at us, and it's trying to attack with most likely a melee sort of charge attack, right? And so so we know that we need to stay up above its reach. And so we used our wits and we hopped up on top of the computer controls and are hopping around the area, right? And so now we are in control. Now we can gain ground, or we can take decisive action. We take +1 momentum, so I think we're going to try to gain ground again. We are in control and take action to reinforce our position. So Ardel is looking around and trying to find other places. Maybe there's cables up in the ceiling that he can grab onto and swing around, or something like that. And so I think that's it is fleeing and maneuvering. He's going to roll edge. He's definitely going to maneuver himself around the area. Negotiating command. He's not rolling hard. He's definitely not, powering through or making a threat. He's not misdirecting. He's just moving around, and he's trying to, gain ground to use his wits. He's using his wits about himself, but right now he just needs that mobility to move around. He spots something, and he's going to try to do that. All right. So we roll edge. 2 plus edge is 4, and we only got a weak hit. On a weak hit, you stay in control. No, on a hit, you stay in control. Okay, so we are staying in control, thankfully, even though it's a weak hit. On a weak hit, you only choose 1. So we can mark progress or take +2 momentum or add 1 to the next move. Now, because narratively he was moving around and not engaging with the enemy per se, because the objective, remember, is to defeat the enemy, not to escape. So the objective is to defeat, not to escape. So we're moving around the enemy, so we're not damaging it. So I can't say that we made progress on it. So I will say that we'll take +2 momentum. I'm a big fan of momentum. It comes in clutch in situations just like this. So he finds a space, and now he's tucked away into a nice area. Thankfully, up even higher. So the bot is now maneuvering, trying to get closer to him. And he is going to continue. He's going to strike. He's going to strike, and he's going to roll at. He's going to roll. He's going to use his Firebrand ability, which I will immediately mark that he's using it. So he goes down to 2 fire, and lets it loose, and he's going to strike with plus edge, so with a total of 2 plus his Firebrand plus 2, so 4. Ooh, yes. So a 4 and a 5 on the challenge die and a 1 on the action die plus 4 is 6. No, 1 plus 4 is 5. Oh no. Oh no. On a weak hit, mark progress twice, but you expose yourself to danger. You're in a bad spot. Okay, so that worked. But I did fill up this progress bar. This dangerous progress bar. I did fill it out. So the situation is looking really good, but Ardel has been put on his back foot, right? So I envision that this construct bot actually grabs Ardel's foot in a moment of opportunity and yanks him down. But in that moment, that his fire from his hand just smashes right into the bot's body and does the damage. Now, he's in a bad spot, so he can't take control of this and make a decisive action. So he can't do that. He can't seize the objective in this fight. So he is going to, he's going to have to clash in close quarters because of the narrative. He has his hands next to, or he's being held by his foot, so he can't run away. So he's going to try to push him away and jump around somewhere else. And he's going to use his fire and go down to 1 and just kind of, what's the term? He's going to use his little Firebrand ability and just kind of push on the construct's his chest area and just force his energy through the bot, and so he's going to clash. So we got a rolling with iron. So iron is +1, plus our Firebrand is 2. So we get a +3 on this. Oh, so 6. That's a weak hit on a clash. On a weak hit, on a weak hit, mark progress, but you are dealt a counter blow or setback. You stay in a bad spot and must pay the price. Pay the price most likely is harm. It makes sense that the bot is holding on to him. Is probably going to take Ardel. Ooh, Ardel, and it's going to go bam and do like a wrestling move and has Ardel by the ankles and is going to smash Ardel into the side of a computer desk, and he's going to suffer some harm. Oof, that's going to be tough. So that's obviously he's going to do a suffer move and must pay the price. Now, pay the price in a combat is most likely harm or stressed or whatever, and the narrative, this is definitely harm. So endure harm. When you face physical injury, fatigue, or illness, suffer -1 health. For minor, 2 for serious. This is serious, so this is going to be -2. Oh, we just upgraded the Firebrand ability. I forgot. I just looked over at it. Oh, this is awesome. When you endure harm and score a strong hit with a match, you may instead ignore the harm and take plus fire equal to the amount of harm faced. So we endured serious harm, so 2 harm. This is a pretty serious foe. So we went from 4 to 2. All right. So our health is at 2. And we're going to attempt to, we're going to do a +2 on this roll to endure harm. 6 and 3, thankfully. So 3 plus 2 is we're trying to embrace. So it's a weak hit, unfortunately. So it's not a strong hit. A weak hit, you are not wounded. If you're not wounded, which we are not, you may lose momentum in exchange for +1 health. Otherwise, press on. As I said before, Ardel doesn't really care too much about his health, just his momentum. So otherwise, press on. So the weak hit just goes, okay, let's just keep going. But he's not going to gain any momentum, or he's not going to exchange health or anything like that. So for Ardel, weak hits aren't really all that great, because he doesn't really care about his health per se. He just wants to push on and push forward. So he is going to continue to react under fire, but he's actually going to try to change the plan and find a way out. So he is going to look around. I mean, I'm going to roll quickly first to see if he can roll wits. He's not going to use his firebrand with this. He's just going to assess the situation and see if he can't quickly find a way out. And depending on how the roll is, we'll see what the narrative actually does. 6, and that's a 1 and a 7, which means 6 plus my wits is 8, 9. So that's a strong hit. So on a strong hit, under react under fire, you succeed and are in control, take +1 momentum. So 7 plus 1 is 8. We're at 8 momentum. And what this is I think Ardel looks at the kind of structure of the bot itself, and he pieces it together of, that's a part of the utility bot, and these appendages came from the prosthetic lab. He recognizes pieces that were laying about there on this bot, and it looks humanoid. These prosthetics are used on humans to replace their appendages. So they're creating larger versions of the utility bots themselves to be more humanoid, to face their enemies, the humans. Oh, Ardel kind of clicks, and he goes, I know what to do. So he's going to take decisive action. When you seize an objective in a fight, envision how you take decisive action, then roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. If you are in control, check the result as normal. If you are in a bad spot, count a strong hit without a match as a weak hit, and a weak hit as a miss. But we are in control, and he's taking decisive action to end this fight. So we don't use this action die. We are going to use the number of progress filled in, which is 10. So 10 is our thing. So we just want no zeros. That's all we want, no zeros. 3 and 8. So that means that it's a strong hit. So on a strong hit, you prevail. Take +1 momentum. As always, I mark things on my sheet first. On a strong hit, if any objectives remain and the fight continues, you are in control. No objectives remain because it was just defeat this bot. Okay, cool. The weak hit table is interesting. All right. We prevail. Wow, that was a wild fight. So what happens next? What happens next? That's right. So the utility bot powers down as Ardel takes his final sort of, his spore gun thing he's never really used, but he didn't want to use his last energy for his firebrand ability. He wanted to save that. So he figured out the best way to disable this utility bot, and he aims right at the juncture of where all of the prosthetics attach themselves to the utility bot main body, and he shoots almost point blank with his spore thrower. It's like this weird, it sounds like a big fat rubber band going off, and a big cloud of this spore-like stuff comes out and fuses itself onto the body and fizzles, and kind of like an acid sound, like it disables those structures that attach the prosthetics. And just as that happens, the bot collapses. And he goes, oh, wow. That utility construct was something else. So I'm just going to write a note here. Uses prosthetics for humans originally as limb augmentation, right? And then uses melee with the augmented arms. So that's how it fights. The utility bots fought with like little lightning prod type of things, but this guy can do more massive damage. So this does 2 harm, not 2 harm, 2 does 2 harm, yeah. 2 harm per hit. Yep. So this little dude we've kind of created on the fly, this very interesting bot. And Ardel takes a moment, sits down, oddly enough, right in front of the bot, right where the bot was pretending to be broken, right? And it had an intelligence about it. It was going all over the area, and it was scanning him. It was scanning the area. So there was an intelligence about it. And Ardel thinks to himself, I really hope I don't meet any more of those. That used up a lot of my energy. So Ardel is going to take a deep breath, and I don't think that he has a moment to meditate and rest. And I want to see if he can. Let's see. I don't think he can heal because he's not really in a good spot to heal either. So what I do want to do is I want I want him to continue on, and that was the medical area / engineering area. And I think he wants to not be here. He doesn't like fighting. Now, me personally, that was a lot of fun. That my blood is boiling a little bit, not in a bad way, but I'm like pumped up, and I'm like, I want to keep doing this. But I am struggling at this very moment to sort of formulate coherent thoughts about the game because I am running high off of that combat. That was a lot of fun. So I think I need to rewind just a tiny bit and have Ardel take a moment and look around the area. So this control room, which this utility bot was effectively guarding. Now I want to ask the Oracle, was the bot protecting this computer room? I don't really know, so I'm just going to give this 50-50. So yes, it was. No, it was not. So 50 or less was a yes. 64. So no, it just happened to be here, wandering around, or, it happened to hear Ardel. You remember it is, stepped on something that alerted the bot itself. In fact, I'm gonna have him gather information. We're gonna search for clues as to what's going on here. So I'm gonna roll wits, and yeah, that's just roll wits. A 1 and a 2. That's great because I got a 1 plus 3, as my wits is 3, is gonna be 4. So that is a strong hit. Take plus 2 momentum. So we're at max. We're at 10, which is great. We're at 10 momentum. And so you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn, then take +2 momentum. So I'm going to say that he learns something very important about this. So he's going to fill out one more progress on this vow. So he learns, I'm going to actually roll for this, just because, why not? So narratively speaking, I think it would make sense that he learned more about how it works and how best to defeat them. His firebrand ability seems to, they don't like fire. They don't do well with fire. And his spore thing his spore gun can disassemble them easily enough once they are basically null and void, meaning that they can't rebuild themselves. So he has a better idea on how to actually defeat them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the core oracles, and what was I doing? Well, I'm looking over at my clock, and I can tell I've been playing for a little over an hour now. So I want to, I was going to roll to see what sort of things he learned more specifically about the infestation. So I want to roll focus, acquire action theme, reasons or something. These tables are very cool, but sometimes I don't know exactly what table to roll on. So let me just roll. Let me just roll a few times to see what words work for me. I'm going to roll descriptor. 90, 90. Stolen. Okay. Stolen what? 94. Stolen vault. Stolen a vault. Oh my God. Perfect. Okay. Ooh, okay. Ardel. Okay. So Ardel learns from his interactions with the bots and the computer core, along with the control room, consoles, that the infected, remember they are infected utility bots, are acting upon what's that word? They are acting upon a stolen vault is the key word for, is acting upon a, I can't think of it, desire. That's not a correct word for the bots, but upon a programmed response to an apparent threat. So he learns between the bots themselves, the computer core, and this console that this new bot was interacting with, that the nano machines that first infected these bots were reacting to the crashed Varnish wreck ship. Remember, this was this location that we're in, as a polite reminder, on the game that I'm playing, is on a planet called Vaarn, and we're on this Varnish wreck space right here. on this mountainous region here. And the whole of Vaarn itself is infected, or rather, nanomachines are everywhere as part of the truths, magic, religion, laws, iron. Hold on. Yep. Nanomachines. Yeah, medicine, life-saving, one of the most cybernetics and traditional methods, and nanomachines can heal, modify body for better or for worse. And the Exodus, Cataclysm. Well, all I know is that in the first parts of this book is that nanomachines are inside everything, and it's normal to see wild animals with cameras growing out of their flesh, or humans with parasitic artificial limbs. So that's the varnish thing. And even though we are inside a, quote, traditional Starforged ship that came from space and not from the planet of Vaarn itself, the nanomachines from Vaarn infected these bots and reprogrammed them to protect a vault of Vaarn from this crashed ship as the perceived threat. Oh, that's perfect. So we know for a fact that there is a vault of Vaarn, and that is awesome. That's something that I never really got to roll up when I was playing this in my other game, is that there are these vaults. Right? The vaults of Vaarn are subterranean ruins that riddle the Blue Desert. Crucially, these vaults will always contain exotica, far future treasures the PCs are searching for. Therefore, the referees advise to create one such location before the campaign begins, blah, blah. So these have lots of interesting things, but always contain some sort of like loot, some sort of like specialized item. And so I think I'm going to wrap up today's session by stating that Ardel Santos, newly befriended true kin ally, a true kin human ally to the currently bot infested ship of the humans that have crash landed here a long time ago, and has been tasked to rid this ship of these bots, has discovered the reason why these bots are doing the things that they're doing, and is that much closer to figuring out how best to deal with them. He holds on to his amulet with his blue iron, and reaffirms his mission to do what he set out to do. And he also says to himself, I hope they can start rebuilding the ship once this is all done. I would love to go with them. And with that, I'll have to close today out and say, until next time, I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.